Are you going to be making noise? Mama's trying to record. I think I left the recorder on. Is it time to eat yet? Hello everyone. I wanted to do a video of part 2 of my health journey simply because there's so much information that I wanted to share with you and not enough time to give it to you all in one video. If you didn't watch my previous video, go back. It explains exactly what I eat in a day and also what workouts I'm doing. So the first thing I want to address is tracking. I think this is one of the most critical parts of holding yourself accountable and giving yourself some data to work with. How do you know where to go if you don't know where you are, if that makes sense? So I use MyFitnessPal to track on my phone, and then I even have a chart that I handwrite everything every evening so that I can see it all in one space. I have all of my tracking for the last year and a half, and you can see where all the peaks and valleys are, and most importantly, why. What made my weight go up, what made my weight go down. So that is important to see the progress and what you need to change. The next step is to set up some macronutrient goals once you realize where you are and where you need to go. So my protein intake is anywhere between 215 to 230 grams per day. It is pretty high, but that is intentional because of weight training. My carbs are anywhere between 135 to 145 per day, and my fats are anywhere between 50 and 60 per day. So I try to stay within that range because I know as soon as I go out of that range and add more carbs, I put on weight immediately. It's awful, but that's how I know what my range needs to be and how to stay compliant. Using macronutrients is a great way to be able to stay compliant because you have a little bit more options. With that being said, my macronutrients usually add up to between high 1800s to low 1900 calories per day. That's just where I am right now. According to my watch, I usually spend between 2400 and 2600 calories a day. And the reason why I'm talking about calories is you could think you're eating the right amount of calories per day, but if you're not spending enough calories and creating enough of a deficit, it's not going to move the needle. Just to give you an example, you might say, I'm going to cut 200 calories a day, and then you not understand why you're not making progress. What happens is your body has a range of calories that it is okay with staying at the status quo. You have to go beyond that. So usually I find if I want to lose weight, I have to at least have between a 500 and 600 calorie deficit per day, maybe even more, in order to lose weight per week. And the rule of thumb, as most of you know, is you have to create a 3,500 calorie deficit in order to lose 1 pound of fat, or 1 pound, let's just say that. And in order to do that in a week, that's 500 calories a day. So what I have found is as long as I stay consistent with my deficit, then my weight loss is consistent. So speaking of consistency, yes, I eat pretty much the same foods every day. There's slight variations, but not much. Yes, I work out every day. If I'm not in the gym doing weights, I'm at least doing cardio or doing something moving. I have learned the hard way that I do have to incorporate off days. I wasn't having off days and was in a walking boot 2 weeks out of the last 6 months, just because I'm getting older. But I need to also make sure that my body can recover, because recovery is part of the muscle growing process. Something that I am struggling with, but I know could not be emphasized enough, is sleep. And it is critical that you get enough sleep. I did notice on the mornings that I was able to sleep in, which is usually only 1 to 2 mornings a week, I lost weight. That's when my weight finally dropped. And I think it's really important that you make sure that you try to get enough sleep. I'm still in the process of trying to work that out, but it might be because of my love for coffee. All right, so the next tip I have for you is water, 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 water. Okay, so in case you're wondering, it's really important to have water Okay, so first things first, the minute you get up, have some water, have your meal. Before the next meal, have some water. Before the next meal, have some water. I found that that was the best way for me to do it. So even though I've lost 40 pounds, I did get COVID, lost more than 40, then I gained a little bit back once I got back into working out and actually eating again. But I kind of felt like I've come to a standstill. And I was talking to my trainer yesterday, and he looked at me and he's like, are you at a plateau or have you not complied? Those are two very different, very powerful statements. And I explain to my skaters all the time, you have control over what's going on. And he's right. I hate that he's right. I don't want to admit it, but he's right. If I'm not complying and my carbs are in the 175 range instead of 145 range, why would I expect to lose weight right now? All right, great. So now I'm doing all this work for nothing. So this is actually a really good thing for me to review because I know if I go back to my original diet in my other video and make sure that I stay within those ranges, I'll be good and start to drop weight again. But if not, if I continue to have too many carbs, I know it's not going to work. So I have a choice to make. And it's as simple as that. Now, remember that weight isn't the end all be all when you are gauging your health journey or your success in your workouts or diet. It's really important that you not only track your weight, but do your measurements, see how your clothes fit, and take progress pictures. I know that feels a little odd at first, but trust me when I tell you, when you see the before and after, you'll go, oh, that looks pretty good. I'm getting there. It makes a huge difference. Now, as far as measurements go, I have found that I would not drop weight, but I would drop size. And then I wouldn't drop size for a while, but I was dropping weight. So it almost never was parallel. The other thing is that the rate in which you're going to lose weight or size absolutely varies per person. For me, I would just hang on to the same weight and then drop all of a sudden. So when I got frustrated, I would talk to my trainer about it and he would just say these words, and I can't say them enough to you and I can't say them enough to myself. Trust the process. Just keep going. Because just when I wanted to quit or change diets or didn't feel like something was working, in the past, I would just change and nothing happened. So it's very important that you stay on the right path, stay with what you're doing. And then if nothing is happening after about 3 or 4 weeks is probably how long it'll take, then you can figure out what you need to adjust and change. All right, I hope more of these tips have helped you. Please give me a thumbs up or subscribe or both. Let me know in the comments if there's anything else you would like to see from me. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate all of you, and make sure you have a nice day.